Hi, my name is Hyun Namgung. Today, I will review 3 movies about black human rights.
I think this is the best Kentucky Fried Chicken I ever had. But I guess
First, the movie I will introduce is Green Book. The movie's general plot is about what happens when a man Tony, who usually had a racist mind, meets a black pianist named Shirley and works with him.
I have a dope. Negro cooks used to make it all the time when I was in the army.
The time of the movie is when racism is rampant and it's natural. So he even threw away the cups used by black people. What is interesting about this movie is that he, who initially remains silent on racism, becomes a person who points out racism when he witnesses it in the second half of the movie. It's also fun to see the friendship between the two men in the process of changing. There's a tendency of quarrel and disagree, but the process of getting along with each other was very heartwarming. The movie Green Book was based on a true story, so it was more realistic and touching. To be honest, I didn't expect much from the movie poster, but as I watched it, I lost track of time and enjoyed. The title of the second movie is Help. The film is set in 1963 in Jackson Village, Mississippi in the southern United States, where racism was particularly severe. And the story unfolds when a writer who runs toward her dream interviews to write down the stories of black housekeepers. It was illegal to even write that kind of stuff at that time. And yet, the protagonist killer tries to persuade black housekeepers to reveal the truth about discrimination against black human rights. This movie showed the reality of discriminating against black people in a naked way, but added fun elements from time to time, so the atmosphere of the story was not too dark.
Let her wine. Go get a plate. Eat. What'd you say? I said eat my. Have you lost your mind? No, ma'am. But you about to. 'Cause you just did. Did what?
The last and third movie is Get Out. Unlike the 2 movies I introduced earlier, this movie has a horror and thriller genre. And this movie is famous, so you'll probably know. The movie begins with Chris, the main character, goes to greet his girlfriend Rose's parents. But when they arrived, his girlfriend's home was different from what Chris thought. A house with black workers and black maid.
I owe you an apology. How rude of me.
I didn't get to meet you actually up close. I'm Chris.
I know who you are.
He thought that could be the case, But the story begins with something strange that happened at a party to greet Chris.
Come my sanctuary.
Get out!
Get out! Get out! Chill! Chill! Chill, man!
I really can't forget the goosebumps I felt when I first saw this movie. And the big theme is black racism, but there are many hidden satire elements when we look for it. So far, I have introduced 3 films about black human rights, and I think a lot of movies that satirize racism can change people's perceptions of different races and change the flow of this world where racism still remains.